Hello everyone, welcome to Tactica, Imperialis and to today's video. You may notice I've got some company. This is going to be an Age of Sigmar 2 battle report and it's going to be Triumph and Treachery. AKA many memes, much nonsense, and we've got the perfect round for it as well. We're playing 1,000 points each and we are playing with, who's on my right? Death, is Grand Host?
Grand Host of Nagash.
Beastclaw Raiders, Stormcast Eternals, Disciples of Tzeentch, and Maggot-kin of Nurgle. We're playing the Total Conquest mission, so we've got a lot of board to take over, and the objectives at the end of the game is complete secret objectives, which we are using because maximum memes, and for killing things, and also for securing the middle of territories. You can bribe players as well. We'll go through a little bit of the basic Triumph and Treachery as we go along. This is going to be quite a long and quite messy battle report, because there's just a lot going on. And if it weren't already crazy enough, we're playing in the realm of Shadow. Just because, you know, more nonsense. So we'll get everything deployed, everything's already ready to go, board set up, armies are deployed because that takes ages to do. We've been at it for like the best part of an hour at this point. So we'll get to that and I hope you enjoy this game. I know we're going to, even if it will break this friendship. So we'll get to the board and make sure to place your bet in the comments below for A, who you think is going to win, and B, who the greatest backstabber is going to be, because I have no idea at this point, though I think it's not going to be me because these guys all hate me. So we'll get onto the board now and I really hope you enjoy this game. Let's go. Hey, welcome to the Realm of Shadow. I know it's a bit bright, but that's fine. So, deployment-wise, we've got 6 quadrants of the board, here, and here, and each player got to pick one, although the order was determined by one person. That was the Death player, because they're pushed up to the corner. Well done. So, the Death army is Neferata with 40 skeletons, 3 spirit hosts, and 5 black knights. Nice and simple. And they're also bringing the Suffocating Gravetide. Yeah, for more memes, we're bringing all the endless spells in the world, so this is going to be fun. The Beastclaw Raiders got next pick, and they've just showed up in the corner like cowards. So we've got 2 Stonehorn Riding Lords and 2 units of Mournfang Cavalry. I realise I'm making so many enemies saying
Your
this.
first one.
I know, I'm screwed. Then we have the Maggot-kin of Nurgle, which is a slightly hilarious list. It is Morbidex and a block of Nurglings, as well as 2 units of Plague Bearers and a Rotbringer's Sorcerer, because you have to got it, there's mortal wounds in. And 2 endless spells down here, the Malevolent Maelstrom and the Endless Emerald Life Swarm, though it will be endless healing because it's Nurgle. For Tzeentch, we have a Lord of Change, 2 Piles of Horrors, a unit of Flamers, the Geminids of Ulgu, one of which is slightly painted black, because we need to know which one was which, and the Quick Silver Swords. And then I'm bringing my Stormcast Eternals. I've got Knight Incantor, Knight Questor, 2 Tempestors, 5 Judicators, 3 Hurricane Raptors, 10 Liberators, and the Ravenak, because I wanted a Purple Sun, but I wasn't taking all that stuff out of my army to make it fit. So that is everything. In terms of turn order, I've pretty much gone in the running order we're going. So Death, Beastclaw, Nurgle, Tzeentch, Stormcast.
No.
Is that not the running order?
Death, Beastclaw, Tzeentch, Nurgle,
I thought Kieran was deploying before Luke.
Yeah, but I had next
Yeah,
Oh, extra drop. Yeah, sorry. I'm thinking about deployment order, not for turn order. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice and easy. And is everything else generated? Everyone got everything ready to go? Spells are ready and all that things. I won't go through all the details because we will be here for another like 20 minutes. So as I said, how this battle plan works is quite simple. You, at the end of the game, need to be controlling these objectives. These denote the middle of territories. They're not actual objectives, but they're just easier for us to keep tapped. And it's D3 victory points to the player who controls them at the end of the game. You also score 1 victory point for every 5 models you slay during a given phase. Not turn, phase. So you do pick an enemy every single phase. So let's say on turn 1, the Death player decides, I will pick Beastclaw as my enemy in the hero phase. They can only attack them in the hero phase. All other units are not affected. In the shooting phase, they pick Tzeentch. They can only attack Tzeentch. Other units are not affected. Other units cannot get involved. So the Nurgle cannot unbind to protect the Beastclaw, even if they're in some sort of non-aggression pact. That's not allowed. In the combat phase, same thing applies. I believe you can only attack if you are the enemy. If you're neutral, you can't do anything. Endless spell control is going to get a little bit crazy, but that's not too bad. And I think that's the broad strokes of it as well. The last thing is secret objectives. We're playing those. I'm not going to go through what those are because I only know mine, but we'll reveal them as they are scored. And you score a different number of victory points depending on what you got generated to do. It might be kill something. It might be control some zone. I haven't read them in full detail. We'll see them as they come up. You can discard them for a command point, or you can use your command and victory points to bribe your teammates or opponents into doing things. So, for example, let's say for a turn, I do not want to be whacked in the head by Tzeentchian magic. I could say to Luke, who is our Tzeentch player, if you do not attack me during your hero phase with magic, I will give you a command point. We'll get to the realm rules in a minute. So I can say that, and if Luke honours that agreement, I will pay him. The moment I pay him, well, all bets are off. All bets are off. So if you pay someone, well, you better hope they're being nice to you.
Hope they're good to their...
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting. Now, as for the realm, as I said earlier, we're playing in the realm of Shadow. This unlocks the Melkoth's Mystifying Miasma, or whatever it's called these days, which is a slowdown spell for can't run and -2 to charge. It's a nice, easy casting roll. It also unlocks the command trait, which allows you to teleport from building to building or from board edge to board edge. We don't have anything that you can garrison, realistically, so we're just going to be using the board edge one. So if you're within 6 inches of a board edge entirely, spend a command point, disappear, come on from another board edge, and hope you don't roll ones when you arrive. Our Beastclaw player is suddenly terrified.
Terrified? I'm coming for you, Michael.
Well, yeah, terrified coming for me. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Unfortunately, I don't have Destiny dice to stop it, but that's how that works, and it also means that through the Realmscape features, the range for all attacks and all spells is capped at 12 inches. So there's not going to be any massive magic across the map. The endless spells can do what they want.
And you can still unbind it.
And you can still unbind at 30 inches because it's not an attack. But there will be chicanery and a lot of complaining, I think, from Tzeentch especially, about my magic's not in range. Wah. He did it as soon as we rolled it. I'm not joking. So that's everything you need to know. As we said, the death player is going to be starting. We'll do a brief summary at the end of every turn, and then we'll do a proper summary at the end of the battle round, just to let you know what's going on, because this is going to get very, very crazy, as I've said. If someone storms out at any point, we apologise. If there is a fight, I'll try not to show it, and we will join you at the end of Grand Host of Nagash, turn 1. Here we go. Okay, end of death turn 1. As you can see, the end of the spells have begun. There is a suffocating Gravetide in play, and it killed a skeleton on its way past. Lovely. The tree has been shut down from summoning, but the skeletons are going to get plinked a lot. In terms of enemy declarations, this doesn't matter for most of it, but because of secret objectives, one of us or more of us may have a secret objective, which is kill a unit belonging to someone who last called you an enemy. So both Rowan and I have, which is the Beastclaw, and myself have been targeted as an enemy during, have been declared as an enemy during this turn. So if we have a secret objective that does that, that is going to be a thing. As far as general motion goes, the Black Knights have gone onto that objective. The Spirit Host, Death Rattan, and the Skeletons have all come this way with a run. In terms of magic, the Suffocated Great Die came in, and Mystic Shield is on the Spirit Host. That's all she wrote. So we're going into the Beastclaw turn now, and we'll be back at the end of that. See you at the end of Beastclaw turn 1. Right, end of Beastclaw turn 1. I may have signed a deal with the devil to try and keep myself safe.
I'm benevolent.
You want to eat me. So, the Beastclaw used their command ability of Ulgu to teleport over to here with a unit of Mournfangs. However, they have not moved. They had the ability to move and come over here and whack me, but on the promise of me giving him my command point, that's not going to happen. I haven't generated it yet, so I couldn't pay it in advance. So I will hand over my command point at the end in my turn, because I don't particularly need it this round, so that's all right with me. Movement in this direction. A wound was plinked off a Nurgling with an eagle, but it heals off immediately because battle shock. Well, because Nurgling's in battle shock. And that's kind of it. This is going to be the turn where things start going a little bit crazy, because it is Tzeentch's turn next. We've got 2 endless spells that could come in, and, well, it's Tzeentch. So, I'll just give you a quick look at the Destiny Dice for those of you who know them. Is there 9 there? Yeah, there's 9 there. So that's the Destiny Dice. No 1s, a lot of 6s. That could be bad. So, we'll see you at the end of Tzeentch, turn 1. Right, end of Tzeentch's turn 1, aka known as the Let's All Bully the Stormcast turn. Literally, that was all that happened. Everything came this way. The Geminids were summoned because Fate Dice, but Voidstorm Scroll said no. And then, thanks to Flamer Shooting, which actually was quite bad, the Raptors lost a wound, which does mean that by the logic of secret objectives, because I had the most victory points on 0, along with everybody else, Luke has scored 3 victory points.
I actually forgot a thing.
What did you do now?
Because you suffered a wound from the Flamers on a 4+, you take D3 mortal wounds.
Oh, damn.
On a 1 you heal it, though.
No, you take D3.
Right, so you just killed half my Raptors.
Wounds.
You just killed half my Raptors, right.
Ooh,
and their bravery is down to 5. Or is it? Yeah, it is 5.
Yeah, it's 5.
Yeah. So you nearly just wiped out a unit by forgetting to roll a 4+.
And nearly got away with it as well.
So yeah, so let's all bully the Stormcast turn continues, but that's fine. So no Geminids and no Quicksilver Swords in play. There's a Mystic Shield onto the Lord of Change, and he's also, you throw some Lord of Shadow spell on them as well.
Yeah.
Which I don't even
5+ fill up.
Oh, save after save, that was it. So one Fate Dice is gone, half a unit of Raptors is gone, the Voidstorm Scroll is gone, and it's over to Nurgle. So with the Beastclaw sneaking down this side with claims of peace in very, very passive manners, and sure, that's what it is.
I come with peaceful intentions.
Yes, sure. So we'll get to the Nurgle turnout and we'll see if we get any Maelstroms, or actually the Maelstrom will be really, really fun. And just a reminder for the dial, the Nurgle units are at +1 to wound in the combat phase, just so you're all aware. Right, we will join you at the end of Nurgle, turn 1.
3.
Okay, end of Nurgle turn 1, and through some subtle negotiation, I think we have a plan. The plan was bully the Stormcast, but I talked Nurgle out of it. So the Nurglings have gone over here, they've locked up the Flamers, a unit of horrors, and the Lord of Change. Not done any damage, but only lost a net of 1 base, because 1 comes in from Morbidex, 2 died, it's a net 1 loss. Could be a lot worse. The Stormcast are going next, it's me last to finish off, and hopefully I can come through, because I'll hand over my command point to the Beastclaw, because I did say I'd do that for not charging across the board and whacking my cavalry in the face.
My man.
So I'm going to honour the deal, because I could really do with friends, because I'm being bullied by Tzeentch. Nurgle is on the fence about bullying me, so and Beastclaw can teleport to do it, so I need friends. All right.
Personal kid.
Yep. So we will join you at the end of Stormcast turn 1. Hopefully, there's a lot less pink on the board, although Tzeentch in pink, not Nurgly pink. I'll try and avoid the Nurglings. Okay, end of Stormcast turn 1. I apologise, the Bully Tzeentch coalition had to go on because I had literally just Morbidex and Mournfangs in the way, and I can't kill those. So the Liberators came forward, charged both units of horrors, killed 2, and the Questor charged the Flamer and killed it. No explosion issues there, and in shooting I was able to whittle down the Flamers as well, and put a wound onto the Lord of Change, which did score me 5 wounds, so 1 victory point for me. Lovely, lovely, lovely. The Ravagnac is also in play, as you might have noticed. It's rather big and imposing and hard to miss. That geared a bit to the Flamers, a bit to the Lord of Change, and to the Nurglings, but the Nurglings healed it off. So that's all completely fine. And that is the end of round 1. So as things stand, victory points, before anybody, I don't know what the situation is, there's some bribing going on and I don't quite know what the situation is. As far as I'm aware, it is 0, 0, 0, 3,
No, thank you very much.
1.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll give you a command point, not a victory point.
No, Luke gave me a command point in return for not
A
teleporting.
victory point.
Oh,
Victory
oh,
So
you
currently,
keep, so,
currently it's 2, 1,
0, 1.
1.
Zero.
alright, 1, so 1, 1, 2,
I have gained
0,
influence.
0, 1.
If live.
Right. So, rolling off for turn 2.
Oh, yes.
Right, everybody get your
Oh,
dice.
first things first,
Oh,
I need
God.
to do my dial.
Sorry.
So okay. So roll a dice for each unit within 1 inch of a terrain feature. On the roll of a 5 or more, it suffers a mortal wound. Nurgle units heal 1 wound instead.
So that's my Questor, my Liberators,
That's
and...
a lot of things. We'll do it after we've worked out the
Okay,
battle round.
so everybody roll in here, please. Everyone got different coloured dice, that would help.
I got black.
Are we recording this? Not down.
Yes, of course we will
Volcanic
record these.
silver. I mean, I'll
Right,
record
I'll go
3, 2, 1.
6.
1! God damn it!
4, and then you guys.
So those two need to roll off for who goes last.
Yep.
So you need to roll for who goes last.
Hey!
So are we going in that order then?
Yep.
So there's going to be Death, Nurgle, Beastclaw. You beat me, didn't you? Tzeentch, Stormcast. But that means I get first dibs on the endless spells.
It's essentially the same order.
It's probably the same order, but not quite. So, this is going to be interesting. We will join you at the end of Death turn 2, after which the endless spells will be, well, everywhere else. This is going to be kind of fun because om nom nom time.
Okay.
We'll see you soon. End of Death turn 2, and, well, living up to his name, there was a lot of death. So the Gravetide moved in this direction, and the Ravagnac in this direction. Like, 2 horrors died, and the Lord of Change took a wound. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear.
Oh man.
So, the Spirit Hosts are over here. They were teleported forward by a Law of Shadow spell, and they would have been the skeletons that were teleported, but they were killed by the Gravetide and resummoned. They were summoned in front of the units. They were no longer wholly within range. They couldn't be teleported, which was hilarious for all concerned. However, they still made it over here with Neferata into the Nurglings, killing 7 and securing 5 victory points for themselves at the cost of 2 guys in return. Unlucky. That's all she broadly wrote. There's a Mystic Shield knocking about onto the Spirit Host, which is over here. And as we said, Nurgle is going to be taking this second turn. So, I should also recap for the terrain. The Tempestors were pinged for a wound by the terrain. Thank you very much, Nurgle's Dial. So, with all of that said, let's get on now with Nurgle's turn 2. Death is sitting on, like, 8 victory points. 8 victory points. And also, I just want to point out there was some very, very dirty play. So, there's not an alliance forming.
I just want to make sure the rules are played as written.
So what you mean is I need to do for my secret objective. I need to have less victory points than the person I'm attacking.
Yes.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to realise this after I've done my damage.
Yes.
Give my command point away.
Yes.
Score the points and take it back immediately.
No.
I gave my point away, dealt more damage to then gain the point to then give it back.
To do in Italy here? Yes or no? Are you willing to do an Italy and flip?
We have a few players who play Civilization, the video game here, so there's going to be a lot of diplomacy going on in the background.
This is the only time I'll accept an answer. Any time from no, any answer from this point onwards is null and void. Are you going to flip or not?
I'll give you all of my victory points.
Or none of them.
Will you flip?
I mean, he's kind of got me by the balls.
Will you? Is that a no?
Being my ally has advantages.
That's a no.
It's a no. Okay.
Alright, so the Beastclaw and Tzeentch had an official falling out, denouncements across the board, and trouble is a brewing. Over to Nurgle. Yes, over to Nurgle for their turn 2.
Okay.
End of Nurgle turn 2. The Bully the Stormcast operation is complete. Braids of Putrefaction, whip round, summon a tree, wallop, run and charge, bang, Judicate is dead in one single go. Ow, Morbid X hurts. Honestly, better than the Tempestors, but still, ow. So that's fine. The Questor and the Nurgle bounced off each other because they are actually enemies in that round. And that because of secret objectives and 10 wounds dealt, that is 3 victory points generated because the one was to deal to one on the left, which was the Beastclaw, or the right, which was me. So 3 victory points to the Nurgle. So now it is 1, 3, 1, 7 because we miscounted, and 1, 2, 1. The turn now passes to the Beastclaw, who are going to try and see if they can deal something to... Actually, to be fair, the Tzeentch are completely surrounded. Doing anything to the Tzeentch is kind of impossible.
I'm trying to do it through diplomacy.
Yeah, so it's whether I get... there's a chance I get saved, but I doubt it. Or it could just be run for the corners.
You've said it yourself, you're a lost cause. You're on yourself, mate.
I fully expect... I knew I was kind of screwed when Morbid X came around, but yeah.
You didn't sell it very well. Like, you could have said, Rowan, come help me. Instead of, no, Rowan, I'm dead.
No, you're welcome to help, but I think I'm going to be in trouble with... Yeah.
He's still digging that hole.
Oh yeah, I've dug my grave and I'm going to lie in it. So we'll join you at the end of Beastclaw turn 2. Okay, end of Beastclaw turn 2, and the lines are becoming a little bit thicker as they get drawn. So despite frantic-ish negotiations and a lot of arguing, the Beastclaw chose to attack the forces of death in the combat phase, with the Stonehorn charging in and killing 2 Spirit Hosts. Not as overwhelming as I was hoping for a dramatic reading there. However, a lot of victory points were scored. Thanks to targeting Nurgle with shooting and effectively killing someone who just regenerates, he was able to score 4 victory points for the guys with last enemy. So 2 there. And then for attacking someone with more victory points than you, which is the death, that's another 2 victory points. So a lot was generated. However, because the wounds were across charge and combat because of impact hits, no 5 wounds were caused in a single phase and no extra victory point there. Taking the Beastclaw to 5? To 5. So 7 to 5 to 3 to 1 to 1. Okay, so we go into Tzeentch's turn 2. Tzeentch is in a bit of an interesting conundrum because the Stormcast aren't going to die, but they aren't going to do much damage. On the other hand, there's a Neferata. Interesting times lie ahead. We'll join the end of Tzeentch turn 2. End of Tzeentch turn 2. So the Architect of Fate definitely is nothing like Khorne because he's a coward. So, well, you are a coward, quite frankly. So, because of the secret objective of hit the guy with the most victory points, that being the death player, and despite being this close to death and just being able to, cast 1 spell or maybe even go for an all-out assault on Neferata, the Tzeentch player chose to discard that with their command point, loan a command point off the death player to get their Beacon of Sorcery. This led to the death of the Knight Incantor and the new generated secret objective for killing a general, so 3 points to Tzeentch and another one for combat phase damage because the Lord of Change just rolls a lot of dice. Well, no, he doesn't, he just does high damage. However, in response in the combat phase, despite losing 4 Liberators overall after Battle Shock, I was able to kill a horror, and the Lord of Change is down to just 2 wounds thanks to the efforts of the Questor and the Grand Hammer. And it's my go next, so I think I can pick off that Lord of Change. I'm going to need some help to stay alive, because I've only got... Well, the Liberators will be fine once the Lord of Change is gone. The Questor and the Nurgle are going to fight each other all day. I'm going to need a bit of help from these guys not to murder me, but okay. And I also have a second victory point because I've done 5 wounds as well. So,
Backstabbing bound.
I'm in no position to backstab, though.
You have a general alive?
No,
Oh,
no. My general got killed by him because he changed his objective. So, we will join you at the end of Stormcast Turn 2 and the end of the second battle round. Okay, end of Stormcast Turn 2 and end of Round 2. You might notice there's a big bird-shaped hole in there. Thank you, Tempestors, for doing that with their Lightning Surge. The Vanguard Raptor and the Liberators combined to get that horror unit down to 4. Unfortunately, these guys rolled a 1 for their Battle Shock and are back at full strength. Good. However, I did complete my secret objective of killing a general, and I did inflict 5 wounds in a single phase once. So I did manage to secure another 4 victory points, taking me up to 6. So it is 7, 5, 6, 3 for Nurgle. And that's the end of the second round. So things are shaping up nicely. Let's see who's going to go on into round 3. I've got a 3.
No,
2, 4, 2.
I'm going last.
I'm going first.
You need to roll to see who goes next.
Okay.
Last. 4, 6. So I'm going second last.
So Tzeentch, Stormcast, Nurgle.
No, I'm
You're second last.
second last.
Okay, Tzeentch, Nurgle, Beastclaw. No, Tzeentch, Stormcast, Beastclaw, Nurgle, Death. So Death controls the first spell, Nurgle controls the second spell. So yeah, this might hurt.
Either way, it's good.
Because I've moved my Tempestors here, because there's an unofficial agreement. I don't want to get steamrolled by these heroes, so I've left them a gap. That was sort of the idea. So, not quite sure what's going to happen now. We'll come back at the end of Tzeentch turn 3, and we'll see where the end of the spells have ended up.
It was worth a cheap laugh at the beginning.
Okay, end of Tzeentch turn 3. So, the Vanguard Raptor here is dead because magic, and a new Herald has arrived because summoning points, because lots of magic, there's 5 players on the board. However, the Night Questor went to town, chopped down 4 horrors. He did take a mortal wound in return because of their petty vengeance, which has got really long range for some reason. And the Liberators lost 1, killed 4, and then they all came back again through Battle Shock. So I've now killed that unit twice. Well, I've killed it once, and it's still there at full strength. I'm going to have to kill it twice. It's going to be a Stormcast turn now. Stormcast turn 3. I've got 3 enemy options for combat. I'll have to see what I want to do about that. So I'll have to have a discussion with my not quite formal allies. As for movement, the Ravanak is down here. The Gravetide went up there. Nothing much of any note, but that's where we are at. So, see you at the end of Stormcast turn 3. Right, end of Stormcast turn 3. 11 skeletons dead to shooting and melee, but because of a 1 roll on Battle Shock, nobody ran. Which is slightly disappointing. Hang on, you said you lost d6 plus 1, didn't you? Or did you miscalculate?
No, I miscalculated.
Miscalculated, okay. The Tempestors lost 2 wounds in return. The Liberators, as though I'm sick of punching horrors at this point and they weren't going to fight for ages, so I just teleported them out with a Shadow a command ability, and they're now up there in that corner. It's ballsy! It's ballsy, and I'm hoping the Mournfangs don't turn around. It's now the Beastclaw turn, so victory point stand, I am on 7, Tzeentch is on 8, Death is on 9, having just been able to fling a couple of wounds off of me. Nurgle is still sat on 3 because they haven't had a turn for ages, and the Beastclaw is sat on 5, although that's about to change, I suspect. So, we'll see you at the end of Beastclaw Raiders, turn 3.
Anyone within 3 of my tree?
We'll do this now.
No.
No.
That would be great. That would.
Alright, end of Beastclaw turn 3 is the pile of bottle caps in the corner. You can tell how long this game's been going on, can't you?
What? This is how I drink.
So, Stonehorner was over here, teleported back over there, and killed the Black Knights. The Mournfangs whiffed their charge despite a reroll. And this Stonehorn here finally pulverised the Spirit Host here now that he got his chance to do it. Did take a wound in return, though, from the Black Knight just poking him with a big stick. So, Did you score any points at all?
I scored 1 point.
1 point.
1 extra ball.
Yep, for 5 wounds scored.
Yeah.
Yep, that's all good. And that's about it. Thank you for not killing my liberators. I appreciate that.
Next turn.
Actually, yes, next turn.
We'll see.
Yeah, I'm dead next turn probably. But we'll get to that in a moment. As it is now Nurgle to take their turn 3. We forgot to do the dial earlier, so what is it going to say now?
It is now rampant disease, so D3 enemy units and within 12 inches of each other each suffer D3 mortal wounds.
So which are you going to pick as your enemy for doing that?
Probably... I'm going to pick the same enemy in hero phase, aren't I?
It's
At the start of your hero phase,
yeah. So you get the enemy for the hero phase is also the enemy for this attack.
Okay, well, I'm going to have to pick Rowan.
You fucking what?
So D3, 2.
So both those units.
Start with the Stonehorn, D3 mortal wounds, 3 mortal wounds, and then the Beastclaw Raiders guys,
The
2
more
mortal
fines.
wounds for those guys.
I don't know what just happened.
He took 3 mortal wounds, which gets half down to 2.
Feels bad, man.
I thought it was the damage rounded down, not all wounds suffered.
It's damage now for individual weapons.
So mortal wounds don't
Mortal
round.
wounds don't count.
So the mortal wounds just all count as 1,
no,
1,
mortal
1.
wounds are half rounded.
Oh, halved as well, yeah.
Yeah.
Rounded,
Okay.
Yeah. And then they took 2 damage as well.
Alright,
And
And that's
so
my secret objective of deal more damage to someone with more victory points than me.
yep, so that was just the easiest pick.
So
Cheeky.
5. And I'll roll a new one.
Yep, so that's all good. So, with that done, and potentially a slight fraction between Nurgle and the Beastclaw, because he could have picked anybody else to do that,
Sentence will be mine.
we will see where this goes in Nurgle turn 3. End of Nurgle turn 3. Oh, this is shaping up nicely. So, Morbidex and some magic worked together down here and took out this Mournfang unit. Well, they took one out, the other one rolled a 6 with Battle Shock and ran away.
Backstab.
There was a bit of a backstab. The Plague Bearers are here, and the other Plague Bearers have run over there to try and get to as many territories as possible. The summoning dial is on 13 at the moment, so there could be some pretty big stuff coming in the final turn or 2 for Nurgle. Because how this game is going to go, we've got one more turn in round 3, and at the end of round 4, we will roll a d6, and if it's less than the number of players, which is of course 5, so if it's a 4 or less, then the game is over. That's all you need to know about that. And so we'll go into Death's turn 3. Death has had a bit of a swing because it hasn't been able to regenerate for a while, so let's see what Neferata's got planned, shall we? Right, end of Death turn 3 and end of round 3. So the skeletons have retreated in that direction, and Neferata thought about it but thought better of it and killed 2 Nurglings for no damage in return, scoring 8 wounds in the phase and thus scoring a single victory point, bringing the Death player up to 10. So at the end of round 3, the scores are 10, 6, 6, 7, 6, and 8, 9. Okay, so Death has a very slim lead over Tzeentch with Nurgle and then Beastclaw and Stormcast at the back. However, this is round 4. This could be the last round of the game. So, get your dice.
Oh. Fuck.
Damn it.
5.
Oh my god. Oh, come on.
There's a triple one.
On,
There's a triple
boys,
one
let's
in
go.
there. Right. Luke. 6.
5.
Of course I'm last.
So it's going to be Death, Nurgle, Stormcast, Beastclaw, Tzeentch in that order. So Death has gone first, last, first.
Can I just point out, I'm going first, and I'll probably have my whole army back on the board.
That just makes me
I'm
sad.
going to resummon them, and then they'll all come
Like,
back.
do you remember like a turn ago, the amount of dead on that board?
That's a bit ridiculous, isn't it?
Death. Right, so we're back at the end of Death turn 4, although that does mean that Tzeentch has control of the Ravenak because the Gravetide got dispelled. So Tzeentch has control of the Ravenak, which is actually just going to have to go and eat some Nurglings, probably. No, wait, I know exactly what's happening with that Ravenak. Right, we're back at the end of Death turn 4. Right, end of Death turn 4. As you might have noticed, the entire Death army is back. Because summoning and 1, 2, 3, 4
Yeah,
graves.
2 skeletons are dead. 2 skeletons.
They all were back. They were all back because 4 grave sites. Neferata says hi, entire unit back, and someone back the Black Knights, who have then survived that objective. The Ravenak because reasons, 8 my Knight Quest Store, and also 8 my other Draco. Thank you very much. And the Stonehorn, as you can see, is dead, mainly due to skeletons. Actually, it was actually the skeletons might have been able to one-shot it.
Yeah, it was only half the attacks.
Yeah, after half the attack, 7 wounds were
Half the
done.
wounds.
So, yeah, ow. So the general is gone, and James, that was his secret objective, so he has scored a further 5 points for the round, taking up to 15 points, which is a lot, which is not good. So it's going to be Nurgle to take their 4th round. I think just due to time, because we've been going for like 6 hours nearly, we will call this the last round, just because I don't fancy going to midnight. I think these guys have got to get home. So we'll do Nurgle's turn 4, and then it will be on to the Stormcast. So we'll see you in a minute. Oh, just a reminder, for stamina points, it's 13 right now, and it's going to be a heck of a lot more. Let's go. All right.
Because these are done.
So it's the end of Nurgle turn 4. We're having to pack up just for time constraints, but there's one move that needs to happen. So I need to make a run move with my Liberators, because I'm going next. And I get a 3. So does 8 inches get me in front of that objective?
Yeah, it will do. Yeah, it gets you way closer.
But the Mornfangs will be able to level up with me. Okay.
I'm able to touch it.
Yes, the Mornfangs will get that objective. So, okay, fine. So at the end of the game then, the way the score is going to be on the doors is... It is 15 plus D3 to death. I'll let you roll that because it's your thing.
1.
So 16 to death. It is 12 plus 3D3 to Nurgle. 3, 4, 5, 17. 17 to Nurgle, and probably
6 plus 2d3.
6 plus 2D3, which is 12
Nice.
to... Yep, so that's 12 to the Beastclaw Raiders, 7 to the Stormcast, and 9 to Tzeentch. So, a victory for Nurgle.
Just.
Just
right at the last
a
minute.
sneaky victory for Nurgle right at the end, despite a full army
I
resummon.
expected it to not be this close, to be honest.
No,
For Triumph and Treachery, that went back and forth so many times.
Go away.
Honestly, brilliant game. Like, we know it's gone on for us for the best part of 6 hours, but it's been so much fun and so worth it. Even as the game got more serious in the later end, it was really, really good fun. So, if you have enough friends, which you should, or in a gaming group, go play Triumph and Treachery.
Hope you have more.
We hope you have enough friends. It's a really good game mode, and we hope you enjoyed watching this battle. But I know it's been a bit clunky and disjointed because there's been lots and lots and lots of game going on. Endless Spells did more than usual. Quite happy with that.
My endless spell just killed me.
Well, that was your fault. My Endless Spell did loads of work.
Mostly on you.
Yeah, exactly.
It was more you than me. It was more you. Overall.
I mean, it killed 2 of your units at the end.
Whatever. But yes, very interesting game overall. Alliances were made for. I thought the Beastclaw were going to sneak it for a minute, but just for a minute.
Don't say that to me. It's very
I thought I was going to lose for a minute, but then I resummoned my whole army.
You still did lose.
Well, yeah, no, but I mean,
Barely.
I came second. I mean, I thought I was going to get tabled, and that was it.
Yeah, you were this close to being tabled, and then you summoned your entire army. So, thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen, and Xenos and other things of all ages. This has been Tactica Imperialis with a AOS 2 Triumph and Treachery battle reports with a victory for Nurgle over Death, Tzeentch, the Stormcast, and the Beastclaw Raiders. We'll see you all very soon. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.